All right, all right, all right. Good morning. It's still morning. Today is Monday, February the 1st. All right, it is 11 a.m. Y'all, the market has had enough time to open up, kind of show us a little bit in reference to the direction that it's headed in. All right, right now we're looking at AUD JPY. All right, we're going to start off with some Forex pairs. And if you remember, again last week, and we actually talked about this last night on the weekly market forecast, all right, we were saying that we want to put our focus on these candlestick patterns, all right? We got the inverse head and shoulders, we got the head and shoulders, we got the double bottoms, all right, double tops, and we're also looking for wedge patterns. All right, wedge patterns as far as market structure is concerned. Anyway, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and let me sure I'm recording this. Though I'm not recording this. I am recording this. All right, cool. So again, we're looking for head and shoulders, and as we can see, it appears that right here we have a head and shoulders. We got our left shoulder here. We got our head. We got our right shoulder. All right, let's see if I can actually add this. Let's put head and shoulders. All right. We got our left shoulder, we got our head, we got our right shoulder. All right, let me see if there's a way I could put I'm sure it is. I've seen other people do it before. Icon. See if we can find us an icon. Do I see one? Did anyone? Kind of looking for a circle. I don't know. I guess we can just use an arrow for now. All right, we got our right shoulder. We go get us another little icon. Get us a right one. Where's the right? Okay. I'm sorry. The right, but the left arrow, right? And then we got the left shoulder right there. All right. And then we're gonna measure it. Same thing we always do. From head to base. Okay, we could call this the base just to be safe. When you're measuring, it's always better to be a little bit short than to be long, right? So we got 70. All right, and then we're just gonna do 70 and 70. And we get about 140. Measure it again. We got 66 actually. 66. 66. 132. 132. Boom! Right to our 179 325 level. All right. So that's what we're looking at here. And then we're gonna go short. All right. And we'll go straight to that level. Put our TP just before that, y'all. We know we don't gotta be greedy. That's 57 pips. And we'll leave our stop over top of the left shoulder. All right. Real simple. You could go a little lower, maybe down to, because we see we have some resistance, but again, we want to be just a little bit over, just in case they really try us, right? Let's drill down a little more and see if I see something else. So that's pretty much what we're looking at as far as AUD JPY. All right, I'm actually already in this one. I entered right here at the top at the left shoulder. So remember, y'all, when we're let's see if I can actually rewind this. Okay, let's rewind this and show you kind of what it looks like when this is playing out, right? We're going to rewind. All right. So this is what it looked like. Let's go ahead and we'll minimize the speed a little bit. All right, price pushed up. It's creating the left shoulder, created a high, created a higher high. All right, came down. All right, this level did not break as a hold as support. And then now we're creating the right shoulder. Let me see if I can pause it. All right, so once we started to see this playing out, right? Actually, let's rewind it just a little bit more. Okay, let's just put it like this, right? Once we see, especially here, right? We got a double top right here. Price came up, came down, came up. I'm sorry. It came up, set a high, set a low. It did not set a higher high. All right. It did set a lower low. All right. But it continued up. So basically, it's like this pattern. Could it be? Let me measure it before I really get to talking. All right. We always want to go to base 27. So basically, that one did kind of play out. Right. That one did kind of play out. But when we see that price basically again it makes a high, right? We know we have a level of resistance here. We got two rejections. All right. We look at this on a higher time frame. I don't want to go out because it's recorded. All right. I'm sorry, not recorded, but I rewinded it, so I don't want to kind of lose what's going on here. All right. And then let's play. So once we see we getting that rejection, right? Our major level did not hold as support. Okay. Price pushed down. All right. We know once price breaks, all right, once price breaks our moving averages, all right, we're now looking at the moving averages instead of them acting as support like they did here. They're now acting as resistance. So that's like our first clue. All right. We got an engulfing candlestick, but it went straight to a level of resistance. All right. So it may set it did go up a little bit more from there, but again, it was so much mess in the way. All right. So that's what we see. And so right now we already see that we could have a left shoulder and we could have a head. So once we see prices pushing down, we're automatically thinking in our head that this could be a head and shoulders pattern. All right. So we want to be looking to enter the market around the left shoulder. All right. That's what we want to do. So we just going to be patient. All right. Price look like it's pushing down. It gapped up over the weekend, got down, I'm sorry. All right. Still pushing down. We see that it's coming up here, right? So just reading left, predicting right now, I don't see a double bottom, right? I definitely don't see a double bottom. All right. So it's telling me that price really wants to push lower, but there's some type of support here, which we see 79,695. All right. Price pushed up. We're still waiting for it to hit our left shoulder. All right. Boom. We hit our left shoulder right there. All right. We're at our left shoulder. And then we automatically get that nice rejection. All right. Rewind just a little bit more. Oops. See what happened. Play. All right. So right there, as soon as we got this, basically we have two bullish candles. All right. We got the doji. The doji is an indecision candle. All right, basically, again, it had a high, had a low, but the open and close of this candle is pretty much the same. All right, and whenever we see that, we can at least bank on usually price returning to the base of the previous candle, right? And if that's the case, then we end up with an evening star pattern. All right. So price came up, and normally with the evening star pattern, price normally does not break. You can put your stop loss behind the high. All right. We automatically got the rejection. All right. We got the bullish candle, but with this level held. So basically, we ended up with another double top. All right. So we would have entered red left, predictor right, seeing the pattern before it developed, then this entry could have got. All right. Which we talked about this last night, I think. Right. So we still have failed to break that high. All right. Price going up and down. Price is really holding as resistance here. All right. And then it looked like we might be live now. So right now, it looks like we may have a cross developing. Again, we want to see these levels hold, all right? Right now, it looks like we're getting pushed down from the averages. That's really what we want to see, all right? Another thing that we wanted to start taking note of is the patterns that are not necessarily working like they normally should work. For an example, here we got the double bottom. All right, that was like the first pattern. It's like, okay, double bottom normally takes us back to the top of the zone. All right, but in this case, it didn't. Right, it didn't even break the last high, and it rejected. And then here it looked like it was like, okay, well, let's see if we can do double bottom again. And the same thing, the double bottom didn't work here in this scenario. All right, and then what else happened? Another double bottom look like it's occurring. All right, so this could be a signal for the week that we could see a lot of, instead of double bottoms, they actually end up being head and shoulders patterns. One of the good things about patterns is that, you know, they show you a predictable move. You get a predictable outcome based on just seeing these patterns over and over and over and over again. But one of the downfalls in the patterns that is that sometimes they try to trick us where one pattern could lead into an entirely different pattern. All right. So that's why we have to look at the bigger time frames to see if we see a bigger pattern, right? We want to look at the size of the pattern as well. This is a pretty big head and shoulders pattern. All right, which is telling us that, you know, a big move is about to happen. So again, for this one, we're bearish, right? So let's look at AUD CAD. We know that these two pairs, they seem to mimic each other. Got a lot going on in this chart. That, all right, we see that we are in profit. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna back out. Take a look at it from the bigger time frame. All right. We got the double top. This is the base. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to times it by 2. That's all we do, y'all. You got to have that measuring tool. So from top to base, we got 75. We're going to take it down to 150. Right? Which is right about our green line that we got here. Right? So 150. Just right there. So we need to tighten up what we said. And then remember, we had a bullish idea to buy once price did reach this 97,020 level, right? So price pushes down, it hits that level, then we're still looking to buy. All right, we're still looking overall to remain bullish, right? Because the trend is overall bullish. Although on the weekly, price is considered to be oversold. We got that rejection there. All right. So we really could go lower. Same thing. Look, we got this could be a head and shoulders pattern, right? We could have a left shoulder. We could have a head, right? We got to see what happens. Price pushes down here, all right, to maybe 0.94351. It could come, down to the 100 period moving average, 92,512. All right, come back up, and we want our green line. If our green line ends up breaking this 96,859, it breaks and then holds as resistance, then yes, we know that we're probably going to continue down. But we cannot ignore the fact that we do have, all right, this bullish cross here, all right, where the 50 and the 100 period moving average on the weekly chart, they cross, but we're quite extended. We're pretty far away from the actual averages itself. Okay. Almost hit the 50 period moving average on the daily, not quite, but we do see that we ended up getting a break, and it looks like we may even be getting a retest of our outer trend line. All right, so that's another sell indication. And then we're right here at 11:18, like 11 o'clock. I love jumping in trades around this time because sometimes the beginning of the New York market, we may see one thing, but normally it's a reversal from what happens during the London session, and then normally we get like a trend continuation around 11 o'clock, right? So I just find being able to find the best entries around this time is just the best time for me personally, right? Maybe even 3 o'clock, as well, right? Market isn't that volatile at that time, so sometimes you can find some positions to hold on to, But anyway, so right here again we have a double top. All right, price broke. It did this 0.98288. Again, it did not hold as support, right? It broke, and look like we're getting a break and a retest. All right. On the 4 hour, we can see closer of that retest going down right now. Let me see. 2 hour. All right, yeah. Yep. So price could come, back up to our trend line. Obviously, we want to actually see this hold that support. All right, and it can also come all the way back up to this 97,927. We got our 50 and our 100 period moving averages. They cross, all right, right around this level, which is also another indication that it looks like we have a bearish trend. All right. So from the pattern to the measurement to where it's going to go, to the break and the retest, everything's looking bearish on AUD CAD. All right. Gbp Jpy. Need to remove that. Okay. Now, Gbp Jpy. Let's go back out to the monthly. Okay. All right. So we do see on the monthly chart, we are sitting on top of the 50 period moving average. All right. We said that we had the double bottom. Okay. So we at least are looking for price to continue up to our trend line, right? Our level of resistance, maybe even all the way up to our 100 period moving average, maybe even break, all right, and continue to push forward, all right? Because again, we're talking about basically these are like coming off of some all-time lows, right? All-time lows. So these positions again may be worth actually holding on to for a while, right? At least that'd be a good idea, but at least scalp it, right? Just remain bullish for a while. All right. The week is starting out bearish. Okay. You do want to take note of that. All right. We are considered overbought. All right. On the daily, we are also, on the daily, we are also bearish. All right. But again, we see that we are in this channel. All right. This 142,643 level, I believe, was a monthly level that we marked off. So we did break it, but we didn't actually get a retest of it. All right. So we could get a break, not a break. Actually, that is a break of our channel. But again, we want to see this level hold as support. All right. Hasn't held as support. On the 4 hour, we do have an engulfing candlestick. All right. Giving us that bearish, it's giving us that bearish signal that we're looking for. All right. Could this be a head and shoulders pattern? It absolutely could. Price could come down to our trend line. It could push back up and then continue down to our 142,655. All right. Continue going down. Could be a double top on the intraday 2 hour. Overall, again, we are bearish. We are right here. We know we have some type of support here where price already kind of jumped off from this level already, but I think price is going to continue to go down. We already measured. Did we measure this? I think we measured this already. Yeah, we did. We went to 150. Yeah, we did this one already. All right. 30-minute. Starting to really like that 30-minute chart. It looks like we got a break, and we're trying to see if this 100 period moving average is going to hold as resistance now. All right. That's really what we want to see price continue down to at least our trend line. All right. So let's put the idea on this. Again, we got a short position. All right. And we want to take it down to, we got 77 pips on this one. This one plays out well for us. Right. Now, remember what we said, that this could be a head and shoulders pattern. All right. We got the left shoulder, we got a head, right? We do not have a right shoulder yet. Okay. So again, we want to be very careful on this trade. All right, because they could give us a better price. All right. So you could enter here for a lower lot size, put your stop loss outside of the left shoulder, right? Because we still have that left shoulder in place here. All right. Even with that being said, we still got a 1.5 risk to reward, right? But if they end up giving us a better price and we end up being able to enter here upon the left shoulder, right, then we have a much better risk to reward ratio of 4 to 1 risk to reward ratio. All right. So it could be worth it to wait, but price could leave us all at the same time. So We shall see. I think it's going to give us price is going to come back up to this level and then continue to go down. All right. Yeah, that's just my opinion. 177. Yeah. So that's the idea for this one. All right. Let's lock it up. Let's lock it up. All right. Hey, give me 1 second. I gotta stop sharing my screen for just 1 second. I forgot I gotta transfer some Dogees to my bank account. Hold on. Stop sharing. Still here, y'all. Still here. All right, still waiting. I'm back. All right, so again, we want to see what happens here. All right. Right now, this could be a double bottom, right? Again, sending us back up to, the left shoulder. All right. So we need to see what time is it? What candle is this? In 2 more minutes, really what this candle does, right? Is it going to be a double bottom? Is it going to give us a better price? What is it going to do? All right. Actually, I'm sorry. This is the 2 hour chart. So actually still at 12. So in 32 more minutes, all right, we shall see what is going down. All right. But this is the ideal trade setup that we want. All right. And I think that this is the one that's going to play out. All right. I think it's going to come down. I think it's going to bounce off of the trend line. It's going to pump up, and then it's going to head back down, right? Whenever we think price is just going to head on down, like what's the chances that it really just goes straight down 150 pips? Like never. Never. All right. So that's the trade setup on Gbp Jpy. Let's go to Gbp CAD. All right, we know, same thing, that these pairs, they tend to follow each other. All right, let's get that old idea out of there. All right, let's go to the monthly. We always got to start off in the monthly, especially the first of the month, right? So, with this one, all right, on the monthly, we do still have that bullish cross, all right? We have been 1, 2, 3, 4 months in a row. We have been basically bullish, right? Prices just been going up, 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 up. And we could have a double top here, right? But we know based on Gbp Jpy, like we want it to remain bullish, all right? We're in the channel. We also have a bullish cross on the weekly. All right, but we have a bearish cross on the daily. All right, so remember, we were talking about how there was a monthly level of support that basically was broke, but it never was retested. We also have to take note that we have an engulfing candlestick here on the daily chart. All right, on the daily chart. All right, so that's signaling a bearish trend. All right, we also, when we go down to the 4 hour, we have yet another engulfing candlestick. All right, so 2 of them. All right, so we want to be entering. All right, this is our trade setup with this one. So that's a 1.5 to 1. Let's take a look at it on the intraday on the 2 hour. See what's going on. All right, our entry just a little bit too high. All right. Same thing with this one. Price could come back up, right, and give us an even better price. So if it does do that, let's just say it comes back up to these wick levels here. All right. And then remember, we got our evening star pattern right there, all right, on the 2 hour chart. So that's always a good level to put our stop outside of overall. But let's see if we got another one in this one. Let's go down to the 30-minute. All right. On the 30-minute, we're getting rejection from our 50 period moving average. That looks good. On the 5-minute, we're getting rejection from the 100 period moving average. So we're coming off of a double top, another double top. All right, we see that these double tops are well in play here. All right. We got a lot of rejection off of that 100 period moving average. All right. This could be a star pattern on the bigger time frame. So let's go to the 30. Nope. 30 on the hourly. Nope. All right. So just forget about that. But right now, again, we're getting that rejection. All right. It does look like there is a double bottom here. But actually, no, I see the wick here. All right, so it's not actually a double bottom, but we're getting that rejection that we're looking for. And even if it was a double bottom, based on what we're seeing, again, the double bottoms aren't even, basically, they're not working right now. So we're kind of disregarding some of the double bottoms until we see them across the market, basically working. Right now we see that maybe that's the one that we should play against so far. All right. You could actually bring your stop loss, underneath this, over top of this, this wick. All right. I don't see any real big wicks that need to be touched. Maybe that one, but again, right now we're looking very bearish. Right now. All right. So on the 1 hour, though, we do have an engulfing candlestick on the 1 hour. All right. But on the 4 hour, we have an engulfing bearish candlestick. All right. So, that one could be a good area to actually put your stop loss under. Like, price may not, after looking at it, this could actually be the actual play. All right. Again, y'all, these ideas that we talking about right now, like we were talking about last week. All right. So, I mean, they just pretty much just playing out, right? So we want to be bearish with that one. GA, same thing. All right. We know that the GBP pairs, they tend to move the same. All right. We got this little fake double bottom here. Again, the double bottoms ain't been working. All right, let's go back out to the monthly, see what we're working with. All right, and on the monthly chart, I don't necessarily see an engulfing, but it does look like a potential head and shoulders pattern. All right, well, we got the left shoulder, maybe the right shoulder. Maybe the right shoulder could be, not fully developed yet. All right, we do look like we're getting some type of support underneath us on the stochastic. All right, on the weekly chart, prices has been very bullish. All right, but we see that we're coming up on this long body candle. Remember, we're always looking for the long body candles and the wicks as areas of rejection. All right, and then right here, this appears to be a head and shoulders pattern. All right, so we got a head and shoulders pattern. Price pushed up. All right, it didn't break the high of this candle, this long body, and we want to continue to see price push down. All right, we're getting that rejection off of the top of our channel. We're also getting a rejection off of the 100 period moving average on the daily. All right, which could indeed be enough. All right, we're setting these lower highs. Throw a little trend line on there. Always got to throw the trend line. So when we threw the trend line on there, we see that price actually has broken trend, but it hasn't broken far enough, right? Like I would need to see price break this 1.80765 for me to be looking for bullish trades right now. All right, let's go to give me a line. Throw me a line on there. All right. So this should be this is going to be interesting to see. All right, if price just comes down, this could just be a break and a retest of the trend on the daily chart. All right, so we know that sometimes GA do what it want to do, but we just got to do what the chart is telling us, right? So after we mark this off, it looks like again price actually broke trend. All right, and we need to see if this is a break and a retest. All right, we haven't gotten a rejection though off of the 100 period moving average, and that's another reason why I'm saying that I don't want to really take any bullish trades until we get back to 1.80673. All right, because usually we're going to get that rejection at least once. All right, price don't just normally bust through the 100 periods moving averages. Okay, again we can see price bouncing off of our ceiling of our channel. All right, but we need to see what we got going on the 4 hour. We do have an engulfing candlestick. All right, giving us another bearish signal. Okay, let's just mark this one off as green, as important. All right, and let's get our short position out. Okay, so looking at this in the 4 hour, y'all, again, we have to realize that we did break our trend line. All right, so this is one setup where we have this 1.3 risk to reward because we got to have our stop loss outside of the head, all right, or the high, and we want to have our take profit above our floor, basically, right? But if price comes down and retests off of this, basically our diagonal level of support, okay, and it does come back up, again, it could just give us a better price if this is indeed a head and shoulders pattern, right? That's a much better price right there. A 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio, okay? So again, y'all, it's Monday. Like it's no real rush to dive into anything, to be honest with you. Let the patterns play out. Let the patterns play out, because sometimes, you know, again, just how we rewinded it on AUD JPY, man, if you know, looking at just what you're looking at right now, then it'll fake you out like so many times. All right. We have to be thinking, what pattern do we see? What pattern do we see? Do I see a pattern? Do I see a pattern? If you don't see a pattern, wait till it is a pattern. You know, these patterns are the best indicators that you could find. All right. So you're going to have to study, and you're going to have to train your eyes. You know, it is what it is. The more you're able to recognize these patterns, that's when you're going to actually be able to be profitable, right? Because yes, you could use indicators. Indicators are great, right? But an indicator is, again, the reaction of the market, right? So it's basically showing you what the market already did, right? So if you're looking at the indicator, all right, it's showing you something that already happened. We make money basically predicting or recognizing when price hits certain levels, where the support resistance is, and being able to recognize things before they happen. All right, before they happen. Okay, so again, I'm going to do a better job of you know, just making sure that that's clear. All right, we're looking for patterns. That's what we're looking at. People always say, where do I enter? You're going to enter off support and resistance based on the pattern you're playing. Right? Where I'm going to put my stop loss? You're going to put your stop loss outside of the low or the high based on price structure of the pattern that you're playing. All right? Where I'm going to put my take profit? You can put your take profit, all right, at the next area of support or resistance, all right? That's inside of price structure. And that's it, all right? Over and over and over again, all right? So this is the idea for this, all right? But if this is indeed a head and shoulders pattern, we're going to have to map this out, though, because we didn't do that. So we can call this the base, all right? We got 159. So we're going to go all the way to 318. All right, so that puts us where? Oh, no. Right here at another one of our trend lines, 1.76846, y'all. All right, this is all math at the end of the day. So we need to increase our reward. All right, if this is indeed the play. All right, so again, is this going down right now? Again, it's going down, but I think we're still going to have to get the pattern, right? It's not just going to, because I don't see a pattern. All right, it's always trying to make a pattern. Like I rarely see a move happen without a pattern. Okay, rarely see a move happen without a pattern. All right, we got a double top. We went down. That's a pattern. All right, we got a head and shoulders pattern. Price went down. That's a pattern. Okay, here we got a double bottom. That's a pattern. Okay, we have to be able to recognize these patterns. All right, we have to be able to recognize price structure. All right, again, what is price in? Okay, what type of structure is price in? All right, and right now we do have this wedge pattern still, all right, that we're playing. Double bottoms as well, so we have to be careful here. All right, we have to keep everything in mind. That's why it pays to trade the same things over and over and over again, because it's almost impossible to remember everything on every pair that you're trading. If you're trading, shoot, I had trouble with 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I try to stick with, you know, again, I may come up with 5 ideas or 6 ideas a day, but even myself, I'm only taking maybe 2 or 3 of those, all right? Because once you win the trade, I got to navigate the trade. I gotta keep reading the charts to figure out if I should stay in or whatever the case may be. All right. And we'll actually talk more about that too, because when we're on these live sessions, basically, we're always looking for, you know, the idea. Um, we're looking for the idea, but we're not, we don't really talk about what to look for while the idea is going on, right? To know that is this idea still valid, or should I continue with the idea, right? So so yeah, we'll talk more about that on future Zooms. All right. Let's go down. Let's move this. Remove. All right. Let's go to the 2 hour, the intraday. Okay. On the 2 hour, we do have a double top. Price came up, came down, came up, came down. We can measure it from the top to what we call the base. We got 68. All right, 68 is going to be 134. All right, so right there looks like we're at least coming back down underneath, back into our wedge. All right, and that will validate the idea to try to push us all the way back down to here. All right, which again, we could call this even bigger double top, right? Always looking for the patterns. All right, let's look at gold. Gold is still in profit as well. Let's remove that out the back. All right. Again, looking for patterns. All right, could we have a left shoulder ahead of right shoulder? Could that be? All right, is this a double bottom? Could that be? All right, we shall see. All right, we definitely got the rejection, but let's back out. Always got to do our top down. Price is considered oversold on the monthly. On the weekly, price is also considered oversold. All right, price went up and rejected. It set a higher low off of our money line. Prices continue to push up, and we're right here at the edge, y'all. We right here at the edge, waiting for a breakout of what pattern are we looking for? Our wedge pattern. All right, looking for our wedge pattern. So we end up breaking out of that and retest. Remember, we was talking about this 1873 mark. All right, we hit it, but we need to break it and retest on it. That's what we're looking for. All right, we're looking for that break and that retest. All right, so actually, did I see something? 1 hour. Yeah, on the 1 hour, we got a double bottom. All right, but again, the double bottoms ain't been so far. Even though that is a higher time frame, normally we can trust what we see on our higher time frames. All right, we got a lot of rejection in here. We talking about a lot of rejection in here. All right, so is this a head and shoulders pattern? Is it? All right. Sometimes they don't always end up in a horizontal way. Sometimes they are on a slope. They are on a trend. Okay, but we are getting across on the 4 hour. All right, we almost wicked off of it. All right, so that's a good sign. But we gotta wait a little bit more, y'all. We gotta wait a little bit more, unless you're still in the trade from last week. All right, where now price is pushed and you just in profit. It's in a no trade zone right now. We gotta wait. We're on the 1 hour. All right. It look like again we could have got a double bottom here. All right, is price going to continue to push up on the 2 hour? All right. Again, we could, and is this the evening star? All right, are we going to break that? We have to see. We see that price did go up, and it did wick off of it did wick off of our level of resistance. All right, our diagonal level of resistance. So you got to see what this is. All right, we got to see what this is. All right, because I do see an evening star pattern. Right, a lot of things are bullish. I mean, bearish, like across the board right now. So it pretty much is what it is. All right, left shoulder, head. Are we looking for a right shoulder? All right, because it already played out. Let's go to the 15. Let's see if I see any more patterns. Okay, look like we got a triple top. Look like we got a head and shoulders. There's a lot going on here. Head to base. You got 124. We're gonna go down to 150. Whatever that is. I'm sorry, y'all. My mind's just. I was looking at the wrong number. We need to go to, let's say 11. And you go down to 22. So that puts us down to right there. All right. So we could be coming back down to our, what is this? Around this 1850. All right. Yeah, it looks like price may not be able to break this high. So I'm going to actually mark this idea up as a short idea for now in the short term. All right. Short term, short term, short term. It gives us a 1.27 versus reward. It's just a double top. Could be. You gotta let that candle close though. All right, so we can get a 2-point out of this. Again, y'all, price could come back up some more. Retest again. If that does, that's a 7.2 versus reward on that. All right. So yeah, I still think price is going up overall, but right now on the short term, I'm gonna go ahead with a sell idea. I'm gonna go ahead and lock it up. All right, go ahead and lock it up. Let's go back to AUD JPY. All right, let's taking a look at that. So it looks like since we've been talking, again, we look like we're getting that break in that retest of our outer trend line. All right. So price came up. It gave us a rejection. That is not a engulfing candle yet, though. Let's go to the 5-minute and see if we got one. Yeah. All right. So we got engulfing candlesticks on the 5-minute. All right, signaling that this is again a bearish trend continuation. All right, so AR, these are the ideas that we're going with for right now, and we'll see how these play out. Already in profit on some of the ones that we marked up, but again, I don't think that this bearish moves are over yet, right? Like this could be like a bearish week, like across the board, like from the JER 30. Don't even know how I forgot to talk about that one. All right. But this one, we're definitely talking bearish. All right. We definitely talking bearish. All right. Across the board. Everything really bearish across the board. All right. We did break and have a retest of our trend line though. All right. We do have to take note of that. But it looks like it then created a double top. All right. So on the 5-minute, we still know engulfing. It does look like we broke our monthly level of support, and now we're looking for it to retest as resistance. All right, and that's pretty much look like it'll be a wrap from there if that holds. All right, if it don't hold, then we could see this continue to push up. All right, could this be a double bottom? Could be, but the double bottoms ain't been paying. All right, not this week. I'm going with the Bears.